Welcome to ArchRivals Football, sponsored by Raz Energy and Steiner Sports. Here is your starting lineup. Number 20, Darnell the Playmaker Sallins. Number 94, Alex the Bearman Kazzaz. Number 69, Ricky the Prez Litwinkowich. And in tribute to our fallen colleague, ArchRivals Football, Ring of Honor member, Alex Fleming. This show is a Pain Train Pipe Bomb production. What is up, everybody? Welcome to ArchRivals Season 3, the Tuesday night edition. The last day and the last show for the production company of November. And we have a fully amazing cast tonight. I'm going to start from the bottom and work our way to the top. We got the Bearman, Alex Kazzaz. Bearman, what's doing?
Just trying to keep the sanity, my friend.
Got to say hello to Kenny Kirkpatrick, who is currently at work, so he's going to listen to us later. We got the Playmaker. Darnell, what's doing?
What's good? What's good? Lot to talk about, and I'm going to introduce our guests for this evening. Up in Maryland, my good buddy, my friend. Some of you might know him from a football world. My brother, John Turner. What's up?
It's a football world. We're all just passing through. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, so before we get into any games, Darnell, you have any news you want to talk about first?
Nope. I'm saving that for Ramley talk because I know where you're going.
I wasn't talking about the Rams.
But as far as any other news, college football tomorrow, oh, yeah. We got a lot to talk about tomorrow. So, well, Bearman, I hope you took your notes. I hope you wrote everything down because tomorrow, it's going to be interesting.
Well, there is one thing I want to kind of gimp on a little bit. The fact that now Christian McCaffrey is now again out for the year.
He ain't the only one.
And the fun thing is that there are now trade rumors about McCaffrey being shipped out of Carolina. Any opinion on that, guys?
I don't believe it.
I'll see it when it happens.
He should have been shipped out before the trade deadline, in my opinion, but I definitely think this is his final year in Carolina.
If he does get traded, where would be the best destination?
In my opinion, it's probably going to be a place where he doesn't have the full workload. And I could say, like, the best probably examples would be the way that things are kind of working in Dallas and New England would probably be like the two best examples of how a team should really be able to use him. If you can pair him with another brain-beating back, a guy that can legit just bulldoze through offensive lines like nobody's business. Or you could even use the example with the Lightning and Thunder that the Giants used to have, when they used to have Tiki and Brandon Jacobs. That's probably the best way to go. So it's got to be a team that's going to have a fairly good 1A running back to mix with McCaffrey, because his workload is ridiculous. Like he is pretty much like, I believe, 55% of their offense.
That ain't the only thing we're going to talk about for Carolina, so let's go ahead and get to these games because there's a lot more to talk about in Carolina.
Right. Let's get one thing straight. He used to be 55 or whatever % of their offense. Now he's not available. So whatever team that trades for him in that $15 to $17 million a year contract is taking a risk on whether or not he's actually going to be able to play professional tackle football moving forward, which I think if you're a smart GM, you're probably having doubts.
Probably.
All right. So we got the first game on the Sunday schedule. Mind you, we had 3 games on Thursday, so the game recaps are going to be a lot shorter. Tampa went to Indy on Sunday. Final score, Buccaneers 38, Colts 31. Who would like to give the first insights on this lovely puppy?
Bearman.
Yeah?
Who was the leading MVP candidate going into this weekend?
Jonathan
Taylor, right?
Taylor.
So we just forgot about Jonathan Taylor until the fourth quarter. You just knew the more they let Carson Wentz throw the ball, the more you put him in a passing situation. You knew at some point in time a turnover was coming. A fumble happens. Oh, then we have a muff punt by Najee Himes, and it's like, here come Tom Brady and the damn Bucks.
And at one point, the Colts were leading. I think they were up 24-14 at halftime.
They should have won this game. There's no way in the world Tampa Bay should have escaped.
First off, the cardinal mistake. Fourth quarter, how much time do you give Thomas Edward Brady with the ball at the end of the fourth quarter? 2 minutes and 23 seconds is more than enough time.
No, that's not the problem.
To go downfield and score the go-ahead touchdown.
They didn't start running the ball to the fourth quarter. And you saw Jonathan Taylor breaking them. 8 yards here, 5 yards there, 15 yards here. He was breaking them.
It was too late.
Yeah, but here is also my concern is that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers pulled the ultimate rope-a-dope in the fourth quarter, especially the last drive. Nobody expects Tampa to be sitting there running the rock so much on a game-winning drive. They pulled the ultimate rope-a-dope because it's Tom Brady. They have Edward Godwin and Gronk and Evans and everybody else that could catch the ball, and they ran it down the Colts' throat.
You know why? Because of Gronk.
It wasn't because of Gronk.
Did you see Gronk kill the middle of the field?
I understand that he killed the middle of the field. But here's the thing. The Colts went pass. The Buccaneers originally were just going to go conservative and play for 3. That's exactly what they were doing. And
because Gronk was killing him in the middle of the field.
It just so happened, though, that they did not plan for any runs whatsoever. Reverse psychology.
In other words, lack of preparation, right?
Exactly. If you see them starting to run the ball down your throat, you change packages. Make them beat you deep. They did not do that. Brady and the Bucs took absolute advantage of the Colts in the fourth quarter. Absolute.
Go ahead, John.
And I did pick the Bucs last week, didn't I, Ricky?
Yeah, you picked the Bucs, and I picked the damn Colts.
Yeah, well, not only did I pick the Bucs, but I said that the Bucs would escape, and escape they did.
Go ahead, my brother John. Come on,
brother John.
Well, first of all, I mean, the Colts had the ball last. They got a kickoff, got an amazing kickoff return with 20 seconds to go. They took off 10 of those seconds, returning it about 70 yards up the field and gave themselves a shot from about 25, 30 yards out of the end zone to actually win this game at the end. This was just a good football game, in my opinion. I think the Colts are the second best team in the AFC right now. They have the best front 7 in the AFC. Carson Wentz is not the quarterback that everybody joked about him being in the offseason. Okay, we were just expecting this glass quarterback to come in and repeatedly get injured all year long, and that hasn't been the case. He's actually come in and quietly had his best year in the NFL this season, and he's playing for a coach who already has coached him before. So this shouldn't really be a big coincidence to people. The timing of them being better than, in my opinion, Kansas City and San Diego and Vegas and anybody else in the South or the North for that matter, I think they're second best to the New England Patriots themselves. Tom Brady's old team. And how about that? But I think what we had here is you guys just watched Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lose last week to the Washington football team of all teams, right? Like that's like a sacrilegious thing. You lose to Washington, you need to go out back and shoot yourself in the head twice just to make sure you're dead. But they came in kind of running hot off of a loss, and they played a hell of a game down to the wire against these Colts who, you know, more so than them losing this game, I think this goes to show you how close the league is right now between some of the top tier teams in the NFL.
Well said.
Okay. Next game up on the list. No sound effect for this one tonight because the sound effects are just completely putrid at this point. We had the New York just the end of this season Jets travel down to Houston to go against the hapless Texans. Final score: Jets 21, Texans 14, in a game that did not make my viewing schedule this week. That was definitely one point.
Well, that's no surprise, Ricky.
Well, just for those who have not tuned in or normally do tune in, there are normally about like 5 or 6 games that are being currently aired in the studio. And surprisingly enough, only because it was the New York market, the CBS people had to watch this abysmal, disgusting football game. I think like the Little Giants from the actual movie, The Little Giants, probably could beat both of these teams handily. But unfortunately, it was a game on the schedule.
The disrespect is real.
Listen, these are basically two teams that are fighting for somewhere in the top 5
Explain
picks.
to me what the hell happened to Houston.
They had a problem. They couldn't solve it.
That was a really, really bad
They
throw.
let a rookie quarterback make a comeback victory on them.
Who had probably the worst start to a game ever in NFL history.
Maybe.
Zach Wilson. I'm going to say this to Jet fans right now. I can understand why you're screaming at your team or the ownership of your team. Zach Wilson is not NFL ready. I don't know who fed you all of this garbage that he was NFL ready. He's not NFL ready. I'm sorry.
John is a brilliant football mind. So if John wants to talk, we will let him talk. Because I don't know what I can't fathom what Houston did. I really can't.
Well,
What is there to say about Houston?
Hold on now, guys. They let go of Lindsey this week, who was not breaking any world records, while on the roster, but he was putting up some decent role player numbers. So remove him from the lineup. Tyrod still getting back into the thick of things as far as health-wise. I mean, this guy, as soon as he catches his stride in the NFL, he seems to get injured one way or another. That's just how Tyrod Taylor's career has gone since he's been in the NFL. And
No argument here.
I love the guy because he's from the DMV. He's from my neck of the woods, and I have followed him since he was a little kid in high school. So, I root for him wherever he is and whatever he's doing. They've got too many guys in their late 20s hanging on to NFL careers in Houston to be in a real conversation about being a competitive football team in the NFL. But let's talk about the Jets. What saved Zach Wilson, in my opinion, this week, was another guy from the DMV. And I'll always go back to the District, Maryland, Virginia, hot spot, Baltimore, D.C. metropolitan area. Ty Johnson. This guy averaged about 7.2 yards a carry this week. He doesn't get a lot of carries, and he doesn't get a ton of throws his way, and most of them are on third down when they really, really need a guy that's fleet on his feet. Ty Johnson bailed this offense out about 4 or 5 times this week, and why they don't utilize him more is beyond me, and maybe they would if Mekhi Becton was back to full speed, but I think the Jets, you look at the Jets and you see both of their pass rushers gone before the season starts, their left tackle gone before the season starts. I mean, there's a lot of pieces for a rebuilding team, a lot of vital pieces to the game of football to lose when you're a rebuilding team, and you can't, fault Robert Saleh for that. I mean, he's not out there, Nancy Kerrigan these guys' knees with a sledgehammer. No, I mean, this is just football stuff just happening in practice. So I think the Jets are in good shape. If my crystal ball were to see something, I don't see them winning a Super Bowl the next 2 or 3 years, but I see them being right there in the mix and coming back and being able to compete with New England. And I guess if Miami decides to be competitive again, I don't know what they're going to do. But Buffalo, we thought they were going to be, the real Dick Cheeky, but I don't know what's going on with them right now. But anyway, the Jets earned it. They earned it. It wasn't given to them. I think they made the right plays at the right time to win that game. And the Texans, they got some explaining to do, but we knew that before they even took the first snap of the season.
Well, you still don't have your lovely quarterback that you've been sitting on the bench, and he's just sitting there rotten like a tomato, when he rightfully probably should be playing, because now they haven't had any legal talks with him for at least the last 6 weeks, and he's still not starting. So that's kind of their bad spot.
He doesn't want to play for them. He doesn't want to be there.
He should be sitting there trying to earn his paycheck instead of sitting there taking.
Instead of sitting there cashing it.
Exactly. You make more money if you play. You don't make a lot of money if you just.
That's Houston's fault.
Listen, somebody needs to take a stick to Watson's head and say, "Motherfucker, let's go. Earn your fucking paycheck."
Houston too scared to do anything.
He said I believe he said he would never play another down for the Texans already. So, I think a trade or a release is.
And nobody wanted to pick him up for even a fucking bag of footballs at this point. Because they knew at some point the legal troubles are only going to somehow come back and bite him in the nuts.
So maybe the NFL career is dead.
I'm not saying that it's dead, but it's going to be under complete scrutiny wherever he goes.
Until the legal talks take place, no other team is going to get Deshaun Watson.
Well, guys, did I don't know? Maybe, did you hear that he was close to settling with all 22 of his alleged victims? He was going to financially settle with them, which would basically erase this case from the legal, from the court system. Basically, because it would become like a civil suit, and a civil suit that has been settled. He was going to settle this case with them. And Miami, I think it was Miami, Carolina, and Philadelphia emerged as last-minute, big-time bidders for a trade. But because the Houston Texans front office, led by, what's the guy's name that came out of college and then he spent time in New England. Now he's down in Houston. He's got a funny last name. This guy that's like the de facto general manager or de facto CEO of the Houston Texans. He's got a weird backstory behind him. But anyway, he decided to raise the trading price because all of a sudden a couple of last-minute teams were super interested because they heard that there was going to be a settlement, which means that he would be eligible to play and there'd be no suspensions. So they said, okay, yeah, sure, we'll give you a couple first-round picks. But then all of a sudden, Houston said, you know what? If it's going to be like that, let's make it 3 or 4 first-round picks. And then they said, whoa, what the hell are you talking about? And then they backed out of the deal last second. I don't know if you guys heard the same news that I did.
Oh, yeah. We heard it. We heard it.
But
That's
see, here's the issue with this. He can go and settle all of his legal issues, but the one thing is everybody's mind is now scarred. Because regardless of what happens outside of that, and here are the 2 best perfect cases about this that you'll always remember about a player. Ray Lewis had trouble with the law. Yes, he reinvented himself. He got himself clean, but that's still a big scar on his professional career. Ben Roethlisberger had the freaking whole rape fucking thing going on. Guess what? He may be a Super Bowl winning quarterback, but that's a scar that will always be remembered about him. And that's going to be the same thing going with Watson forward. You can settle all of that legal bullshit, but you're still going to have that scar left on your career. And how many coaches are going to be willing to take one shot on a guy who's got already that much of a troubled past and won't fucking do it again? That is always the bad mark to any player that gets in trouble with the law.
The 2 names that you brought up, one's a Hall of Famer and one's a future Hall of Famer. You do realize that, right?
I understand that, but guess what? Deshaun Watson right now is not even close to being a Hall of Fame quarterback.
But if he gets on that field, he will eventually get there.
The question is now, we've got to really kind of move on with it, but he's been sitting around for way too long.
He has.
He's been sitting around for way too long. He don't go to fucking practice. He sits on the bench, probably jerks off with a thumb up his ass when the fucking team is in the hotel or whatever, and that's it. He doesn't fucking do anything.
Is there a team in your mind, Prez, that you can see that it would actually make sense to pull the trigger? I can't see a single team across the league
Miami's
make this trade.
Miami's the worst
not
place
even
for him
the
to go.
Dolphins.
Miami is the worst place for him to go. Because guess what? You're in Miami. You got all the nightclubs. He's going to want to be hitting those places. Same thing if he came to New York. If he came to the Jets, he'd be massively in trouble. It's kind of a
massage
case.
parlors in New York, man.
You have to
go where the massage. Go to Green Bay.
You'd have to send him to.
They got to trade Aaron Rodgers straight up. Maybe that he would work in Green Bay because I can't think of a 5-star rated massage parlor in Green Bay. Can you?
Well, unless he wants to have sex with a cow and make cheese, then that's the perfect place to go. Because he's going to have to go to a market that's not a major city.
Don't knock it till you try it, baby.
Listen, I don't deal with the goats either.
Go to the next game.
All right. A lot of people got this game wrong. Why? Because both teams still suck. Philly at MetLife Stadium against the Giants. Final score, Giants 13, Eagles 7. In my opinion, the only positive thing about this game, Michael Strahan gets his jersey retired. That's it. That's the only positive part of this game. Otherwise, this game blew chunks.
I mean, hey, I actually got this pick right.
Darnell, show your shame for picking the Giants.
I ain't picked the Giants.
You didn't pick the Giants.
I picked the Giants.
Wow.
I picked the Eagles.
John, who would you have picked in this game? Who did you pick?
I would have had the Giants rebounding off the news of David Gettleman being fired and playing with a little bit of fire. Also, Kenneth Gainwell being out. I think he's the second best pass-catching running back in the league right now behind the guy up in Indianapolis. The guy up in Indianapolis catching all the passes out of the backfield. But
Harris.
No, Naeem Hines, I think is his name. But I think Gainwell is number 2, maybe number 3 in pass catching out of the backfield. And the fact that he was out was a backbreaker for me. You can only mask Jalen Hurts' skill set so much throughout a game with certain weapons gone. And Now you've got rid of Ertz, who was over the hill anyway. But Gainwell, I mean, that's a big portion of their, they run a lot of 2 tight end sets. They run a lot of 2 running back sets. To remove one of each really hurts what they're trying to do in Philadelphia, because Philadelphia's offense is really just a reincarnation of what they're doing in Indianapolis, which is really in reincarnation of what they were doing in Philadelphia before everybody left to go to Indianapolis. So this is the same offense that beat Tom Brady, your Philly special offense. But they're missing some key components, and their line isn't fully intact. And the Giants were the good bet, in my opinion, even though they're probably looking at a complete rebuild.
All right. So moving on to this next one, which I know Darnell wants to scream about. Carolina Panthers at Miami. Final score, Dolphins 33, Panthers 10. All I remember is this sentence being said, and then I kind of.
Oh, you gonna take it from? You gonna steal it from me? Because you knew exactly where I was going at.
I'm
Go ahead.
back on the bench. Go ahead.
I mean, that's the best way to highlight it.
Yeah.
I mean, I should probably scream at the Panthers myself.
Go ahead, Darnell.
God damn you, Cam Newton.
like angry grandpa.
Listen, I noticed that you started Cam Newton in your fantasy lineup this weekend.
And I still won.
And I actually kind of laughed when I first saw it, because I was like, oh my God, he's on the bench and he's only got like 9 points.
6. I want a fantasy
Sorry.
with a quarterback that got me 6 points. That should tell you something about me and my fantasy.
Here's a statistic. I believe since Cam Newton's final start with Carolina back in 2018, I think it's 0-10.
Who actually looked like a goddamn starting quarterback over Cam Newton?
And this is another reason why Miami would have not been a great place for Deshaun Watson to go. I don't care what you say about Tua.
I mean, Tua, the main issue with Tua is, it's his inability to stay healthy. That's the most concerning part.
I think Carolina's got a lot of good football players at certain positions. They've got a solid tight end that they don't utilize enough. They've got a solid linebacker that they don't utilize enough. They've got probably, give or take, the best backup running back in the NFL.
I love Chuba Herbert.
Yeah. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better guy to come in and fill in for whether your starter just needs a breather or he's injured. This guy is the mini-me of Herschel Walker. Okay, I mean, this guy had like 2,500 yards as a junior. Probably could have had more as a senior if it weren't for the COVID nonsense season. But, Carolina, bring back in Cam Newton. He's connecting with DJ Moore, University of Maryland, via the Turtle. Not quite enough. I mean, he should be familiar with these guys and their route running capabilities, but he's been out away from the team for 2 years. Got to give it more than 1 or 1.5 weeks of practice snaps for him to be fully effective. And who knows? Maybe he's lost a step. Maybe he's just done. We don't know. We've seen quarterbacks since the 70s. I mean, you look at guys like Joe Namath, and these guys late in their career, they switch teams or come back, and they're just not the same. And sometimes it happens. So I hope it turns around for Carolina, because I really like Cam Newton. I really like him as a competitor. I don't like his dress code much, but I think he's a good person and a good player. And I think the league is better when he's doing well. And it's a shame that he fell flat statistically this week. But hey, kudos to Miami. You got to win some month, right? I mean, Jesus Christ, they weren't going to lose out, were they? I mean, goddamn, They were on pace to lose the rest of their games, but at least they picked one up. They've got some good pieces too. They've got a good secondary. They've got a solid tight end. They've got a solid wide receiver number one. They can figure out the rest of their team. They'll be a competitive ball club.
Miami's on a 4-game winning streak. They were 1-7, and now they're 5-7.
Well, let's talk about streaks. And I ain't talking about the streaks in everybody's underwear. I'm talking about that team that was shit on in the beginning of the season, the New England Patriots. Hosting
Bearman.
the Tennessee Titans on Sunday. Final score, Pats 36, Titans 13.
Bearman.
Yes.
I was listening to Good Morning. I was listening to Game Day Sunday, right? And First Take. You know what the Hall of Famer Michael Irvin called the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick?
What would that be?
I think Ricky might like this. He called him Michael Myers. Just when you think you got rid of him, guess where he's at?
Right in your face.
Just when we thought we finally got rid of the Patriot dynasty and we can move on. Well, look where they at.
I mean, Ricky is the one who's laughing his ass off right now. Even though he's not doing it technically, in his head, he's laughing like a mad scientist. And quite frankly, he should be. And I said this, and I did say this during the offseason. Ricky can back me up on this. I said Buffalo may be the favorite, but it is pointless to count out the New England Patriots. And this is my point right there. Did I not say that, Ricky?
Damn.
All I can say is this.
Goddamn.
Is that the Titans played well for the first 2 quarters of this game. First 2 quarters. Yes, they ran the ball. They had 2 100-yard rushers on Sunday and still lost by 23 because the turnovers were the key. When I posted what I did on Facebook about halfway through the third quarter, said, wow, I haven't said anything, but this defense is a turnover machine. And Tannehill was a victim. Victims. That's what the Tennessee Titans were. Yes, again, their run game was absolutely amazing, but your turnover game, yeah. When you have that many turnovers, I don't expect any team to win. I don't care.
4 of them.
That's why I picked New England. I said, I'm picking New England. There's no way in the hell I'm picking Tennessee.
But still, Ricky, I need you to confirm. I did say that about the Patriots.
And I will say this. On this lovely little 6-game winning streak, the Patriots are averaging over 30 points per game. They were not doing that through the first 6.
No, they weren't.
Okay?
John, how afraid the NFL should be that New England is coming and coming with a vengeance?
Extremely. I think right now they are the number 1 overall best team in football right now. I am not a New England Patriots fan. I love Bill Belichick. He is from Annapolis, Maryland. Okay, let's get one thing straight. I am a home team homer when it comes to guys that are from my area. And he went out and got Malcolm Perry from Miami Dolphins earlier this year and added him to the roster in a trade. For whatever reason, he grabbed him up. But look, let's compare what they're doing this year to what they did in 2001 or 2002. When Tom Brady had to come off the scrap heap and take over for Drew Bledsoe, it looks an awful lot like the same offense that they brought slowly along, except they're doing it in a fast-forward 3 years motion, okay? Like Tom Brady didn't really throw a deep pass until his 3rd or 4th year as a starter in New England. But by then he had 2 Super Bowls, right? But Bill Belichick didn't trust him enough to throw the ball all over the place. Now they've got a rookie, and the game of football has changed a little bit. And every year seems to be like a 3-game stretch in today's game, right? So, like, if you can't progress in 3 games, that's like a whole season 20 years ago. And that's what we're looking at from Daniel Jones. We are looking at a year's worth of progression happen in the first quarter of the season, second quarter of the season. Now he's throwing the deep ball. And oh boy, what are they? 7-4?
8-4.
8-4. Oh my God. They lose the GOAT. They lose Tom Brady to Tampa to free agency. And they take a 1-year hiatus and now they're back in first place. This is crazy to me, but it's not very surprising. I think Bill Belichick is the finest coach that football has ever seen. I don't think we'll see another one in our lifetime as good or as impactful to the game as he is. So I'm not that surprised at the success of Daniel Jones. And then, but let's go back real quick, guys. This is a touchy topic, and we don't want to spend days talking about this dumb shit. But remember when Daniel Jones was thought to be one of the top draftable prospects, and some of the experts were like claiming racism about it?
They compared him to a sloth.
Oh my God, it's racist to compare Daniel Jones as a better quarterback than Trey Lance, or who's the guy that's shitting the bed up in Chicago right now. It's racist to have Daniel Jones ranked over them or in your mock draft over them. How dare you suggest that he's quite possibly a better? Well, you know what? He's 8-4. Okay. He's 8-4 for the GOAT, Bill Belichick. So I don't know what all that talk was all about. I can't exactly remember those topics of discussion, but they were wrong. Okay, this guy is a very good quarterback. I don't care if he's got 10 DWIs on his record. He can throw the football and lead a football team down the field to score more points than you can, and that's the bottom line.
Can we go ahead and give Matt Jones the Rookie of the Year trophy right now?
You might as well, because I can guarantee tell you, if you are one player who has 8 wins and you have more wins than the other 4 rookie quarterbacks that were drafted in your class combined,
one don't even play.
That says something a lot.
One don't even play. Trevor Lawrence, well, we all know what he is, so we understand the situation.
He's not a bust. He's in an unfortunate situation.
We understand the situation with Trevor Lawrence, so we know this. Justin Fields, he's still learning. Yeah. He's still learning. I mean, it's just.
Hey, John, you want to know something? You really have a unique, sophisticated knowledge of football, brother.
Well, I appreciate that, but I think you do as well. I've listened to quite a few of your short shows and posts, and I do appreciate your knowledge of the game as well. But
which show would that be? Keep in mind, I have like 5 total. I'm about to have 2 more actually.
I'll be honest with you. Most of the ones that I catch from you are your wrestling stuff. Oh. Because I don't watch wrestling, I'm always interested in somebody that has a good take on wrestling, and I think you really do have a good take on it. I think your take on wrestling is better than the wrestling that's actually happening.
Well, thank you so much. I don't know. I mean, my co-host is going through a lot of stuff, so I'm not sure when our episode will be, but you know, he'll be fine. But thank you very much, John.
All right.
Next game.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, we're turning Darnell as crazy as Jim Cornette.
Visiting the Bengals. I mean Bungles. No, we're talking about real deal Cincinnati here. Bengals now 7-4, win 41-10 over the Steelers.
Bearman.
I picked the Bengals. You're not
going to No. I am going to deny you because you know why? You ain't see that coming. Tell me you ain't see that coming.
What does that have to do? The bottom line is I picked Cincinnati, Darnell.
I did too, but you ain't see that coming because I ain't see it coming.
Well, I never said that I saw it coming. I just knew that Cincinnati would win.
You said Cincinnati would win. It'll be a hard-fought game. That's what you said.
I did say that.
They ain't no damn hard-fought game. Cincinnati beat the holy hell out of Pittsburgh. You know what Ryan Clark called Pittsburgh? Ryan Clark.
I had the
former Steelers called Pittsburgh soft. When have you ever heard Pittsburgh and soft in the same sentence?
Quite a few times. I've heard that
quite a few times, as a matter of fact.
On the NFL morning shows, they've been calling the Steelers soft.
And you say NFL morning show. I'm talking about a actual Pittsburgh Steeler.
That's true, though. Why are you going to lie about something that he's absolutely right about?
That's the problem.
I mean, is that the
You
ironic
have
part,
a
Ricky?
former player of yours calling you soft.
I wish I had the Enzo soundbite.
Soft. Think about the history of Pittsburgh.
Darnell, you do know that in his case, he was telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
But you're not following me. You have never in your mind would ever thought the word soft would be associated with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Never.
Steelers soft before, maybe not on the air, but I have. It's crossed my mind.
What is going on in Pittsburgh?
Playmaker, it seems like you're shockingly surprised that a former Steeler called out his former team. I mean, honestly, no former player should be afraid to call out his own former team, especially when they are terrible.
You can call him out for being terrible, but when you say soft,
well, there's a reason why.
With football?
Because there's a reason why. And there's one main reason why.
It don't matter. It's the fact that you have to say that. You have to say that about the Pittsburgh
He's
Steelers.
calling out his team for a reason. He's calling them out for an absolute reason.
I mean, they could not even beat Detroit.
Listen, Pittsburgh does not want to change. They are afraid of changing right now. They are going to put everything that they have reliably so on Big Ben. That dynamic is gone. It's been gone for the last 2 years now. You have all this young talent back there. How about let's see what Haskins can do? You fucking signed him for a reason. Let him fucking play.
You mentioned he's afraid of change, right?
If he supposedly is the future of the Pittsburgh Steelers, the way they were kind of saying it, we can have Ben groom him to be the future of the Steelers. Let's see what Haskins has got.
He's not the future.
Not Duck, whatever the fuck his name is, or any of the other fucking assholes that they have listed as a QB on their roster.
Mason Rudolph.
Exactly.
Don't even say his name. His name is not allowed to be said on this show.
But hey, Ricky. First of all, Ricky, sorry to have interrupted you, but I like how you bring up the point that afraid to make a change. A lot of teams are afraid to make a change. Making a change is something that needs to be done not only in football but in all sports, because sports evolve quicker nowadays than back in the day. That goes in soccer, basketball, hockey. You have to make the changes to adapt so you don't fall into a category of old school conservative play, because that dooms you.
But Big Ben right now should be changed into the character in the game operation. Because he's had so many injuries over his career at 38? He's 38 now, Big Ben?
He's around that age.
Okay. He's played long enough. It's time to put this horse out to pasture, shoot it, send it to the glue factory, and let's see what we've got for the future. This is the problem that he's going to run.
You know what the problem is when it comes to the future? They passed on the future. They don't have a future.
Let's talk a little statistics here, guys. 2 years ago, the Pittsburgh Steelers were number 1 in the NFL with a 2.8 second per passing play, quarterback pocket time. That means like pocket pressure didn't get to the quarterback until 2.8 seconds per passing play. That's an amazing stat. They were number 1 in the league 2 years ago. Fast forward to this year, they are more than 1.5 seconds and dead last below that same number that they were number 1 in 2 years ago. So we know that they've replaced 3 or 4 out of their 5 offensive starting linemen. That's not easy to translate over to, successful professional football when you do that kind of thing, especially if you're competing at a high level like Pittsburgh is used to doing. I don't think Mike Tomlin's job is in jeopardy. I think his job is just fine. I don't think he's interested in any college things or any other coaching positions or upper management in this league. I think his job is more secure than Santa Claus. In fact, to be completely honest with you, I think Mike Tomlin has the most secure head coaching job in the National Football League. It may be time for Ben to move on, and it's a shame that we're seeing Pittsburgh struggle. I've never seen them lose to the Bengals 41-3 or 43-3 or whatever the hell the final score was. I have been alive for a very long time. I was at the game that the Bengals lost to the Raiders in the day that Bo Jackson got injured and was his last game in the playoffs in 1991. I was there that day. That's how old I am. Okay. But what I'm trying to say is I've seen some competitive Bengals teams come and go with Boomer Esiason from the University of Maryland, Fear the Turtle. Okay. But I've never seen the Pittsburgh Steelers struggle quite like this before. And you got to look. Brett Kiesel, Aaron Smith, some of that secondary, those linebackers, the one linebacker that broke his back and had to retire.
Shazier, I believe.
Ryan
The
Shazier.
former Buckeye.
This is a lot of constant cogs in this team that have dropped off, and they draft linemen every year. They draft them in the first, second, and third round like all the time. It's like not like they ever avoid this position. But sometimes I think you go through some age changes, and maybe you re-sign the wrong guy or two, but they usually do a pretty good job of letting guys that don't belong there walk into free agency. They usually do a pretty good job of that. Perhaps they've missed on one or two. I think Pittsburgh will be back. Give them a year. They'll be right back. And this division looks like it's 8-9 across the board to me, man. I mean, none of these teams look like a clear dominant team. Like, right now, Lamar's starting to struggle. What are the Bengals? Cleveland, where the hell did you go? And Pittsburgh, what the hell happened? So that's your AFC North, those four things. You know what I mean? Like, what's really going on up there? We don't really know. I mean, I think it's still anybody's game.
Do we have to talk about this next game?
We can skip it. We can just announce the score.
All right. Shout out to my sister Yolanda for her Falcons coming to Jacksonville and beating them on Thanksgiving weekend, which solidified her Thanksgiving weekend.
And that's how we move to 4:00.
Oh hell.
LA Chargers at Denver. Final score: Broncos 28, Chargers 13.
I did fail miserably on this pick.
In a game that felt like a one-armed surgeon doing brain surgery with a pipe wrench. This was probably one of the brain beaters of the weekend.
So this what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna
save. Broncos fan must be laughing his butt off.
He can. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna save my comments for when we get to the other LA team because I gotta talk about both LA teams at the same time.
Okay.
I gotta talk about both LA teams at the same time.
Fair enough, Playmaker. Fair enough.
So the only thing I could say about this is that the LA Chargers are in trouble. They're not consistent enough. I'm not even going to turn around and say, oh, the Sunday night game last week took a lot out of them. That's a load of crap. Because they really did beat a hapless Pittsburgh team last week. Let's not get that twisted. But the turnovers on the LA offense is obscene. There is something wrong with the play calling there at that point. I don't really want to put anything on Herbert, but he had a horrible game. And it's starting to be a trend since the, that team up in Boston beat them a few weeks ago, beat their doors off. It's kind of started since then. So whatever play calling is going on the Chargers team, you need to fix that fast.
Everyone, please make a note of the words play calling.
Next up, it should be fun. I think I really want to walk away from this one. The team that plays in the same building as the Chargers, The LA Rams.
Oh boy.
At
Take it away,
the Green
Playmaker.
Bay Packers. Packers win 36-28. The Packers move to 9-3. Rams are at 7-4.
So first and foremost, I did pick the Green Bay Packers. Okay,
He did.
I picked them in the preseason because I knew going to Lambeau Field is not a place you can win at. It's just difficult unless you're Thomas Edward Brady. Forever. Stop shaking your head. Now, imagine you got one LA team on one TV, the other LA team on the other TV, and it's like you watching the same damn game in two different places. You're not running the ball like you're supposed to. You turn the ball over. And Justin Herbert, they're not letting Justin Herbert go downfield. I did not see one down the field pass for Justin Herbert. You have Keenan Allen and you have Mike Williams. Hell, you even have Jared Cook, who half the time don't catch the damn ball. But you're not pushing the ball downfield with Justin Herbert. What happened to that? When the Chargers was rolling, you pushed the ball down the field. When you beat the Eagles, when people didn't think you was going to do it, and me and Barrett, man, the three of us was on here, was like, no, there's no way they losing 3 in a row. You push the ball down the field. When you beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, when shouldn't it be a close game? Wasn't that like a 50-yard bomb to Mike Williams?
Yes, it was.
The inconsistency. Why you not passing the ball deep downfield? Chargers, get it together. Now the Rams. I'm gonna say most of it. I'm gonna say most of it for Ramley talk. But you get your ass whooped on Sunday Night Football by the Titans. You get your ass whooped on Monday Night Football by the San Francisco 49ers. You have a bye week. And then you put that display on Game of the Week at Lambeau Field. I'm not worried about the loss to Green Bay because I seen it coming a mile away. I seen the end in the Lambeau Field last year, so I didn't see anything different this year, even with Matthew Stafford. Is that Lambeau? Late November, early December. I know what's coming. Okay. You know what my problem is? I have a defensive coordinator who wants to play freaking zone. Bearman. What defense you don't play against quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers?
You don't play zone.
Okay. Why is Jalen Ramsey not following Devontae Adams? There's something not going your head when they first did it. Oh, so Jalen Ramsey standing over there. Okay, Devontae, you just go in motion. Okay, we're gonna pick on one of the other ones. And it's like, there you go. None of the other corners are physical enough to guard Devontae Adams. But no, we're gonna play zone. We're gonna keep Jalen Ramsey on one side of the field. We're gonna match him every once in a while. Like that's gonna do something. My linebacker, Troy Reader.
You Playmaker.
What is it?
Should they have been blitzing?
No.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers can read the blitz, so but it maybe it was worth a try, but it
no,
seems like it wouldn't be worth it.
If you know what's the difference between the Chargers defense and the Rams defense, besides Brandon Staley? Brandon Staley have his secondary playing man. You have to force your way to get open in Brandon Staley's defense. With Raheem Morris, there's no man. If the Rams was to go back to playing man, Aaron Rodgers ain't getting the ball like in no 2 seconds. He has to hold on to the ball for a little while longer. And you got Von Miller, Aaron Donald, and 11-4 coming to get you. Because they was like this close every single time getting. I'm like, they just can't. My secondary ain't doing it. And my linebacker, Troy Reader, what are you doing? How you not guard AJ Dunn out in the backfield? How you just leave him open and get a first down, third down? What's going on here? That's the defense. And let's get to the offensive side. My quarterback. A third straight game with a damn pick six. A pick six. And every time he threw a pick six, they put us in a hole that we can't get out of. All three of them. You threw a pick six against the Titans, we're down double digits. You threw a pick six against the 49ers, we're down 2 touchdowns. You threw a pick six against Green Bay, we're down 19. Matthew Stafford. Sean McVay. We already know what Matthew Stafford can do. We know he can throw the ball at any given point. 1, the freaking football. When we got to the Super Bowl, what did we use? Todd Gurley in the run game. When we had Cam Akers last year, what did we do? When we went to Seattle in the playoff game, we used Cam Akers. But we trying to sit here and validate Matthew Stafford, which we don't have to. Everybody sees it now. Dude, he can actually throw the ball. He can rip it. But now you know what the problem is. Now you know what the question is. See, in these big games, Matthew Stafford, you can't come through. You know why you can't come through, Matthew Stafford? Because you're trying to validate yourself. And Sean McVay's trying to help you. We don't need that. Run the damn ball. Use Darrell Henderson. Use Shoney Michel. Let the offensive line get a rhythm. They say, okay, we can run the football. Now be two-dimensional, not one-dimensional. That's our problem right now.
Well, I do want to also not only say that this was a very, very interesting game for me to watch at 4:25 in the afternoon, because I still hate Joe Buck. I still hate Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman looked like he was still celebrating Halloween from like a month ago, because he looked absolutely miserable, like a skeleton. And I do want to congratulate our boy Bernard for now being a five-stock shareholder of the Green Bay Packers.
Did you see that? Speaking of Troy Aikman, did you see that Amazon is looking, or no, it was Disney. Disney is looking to go after Troy Aikman if they can, in fact, secure the Sunday ticket. And if not, Amazon, once they secure the Thursday night ticket, is also looking to secure Troy Aikman. This guy seems to be the most sought after play-by-play guy there is. I mean, is he that good? The two networks are battling for his services. I mean, is there nobody else out there available?
I think they're just trying to figure out how to get him away from Joe Buck and how much alcohol to give him during games, because he's back to drinking during games again.
I don't think he's ever been away from drinking during games. Neither has Joe Buck. But I didn't know this guy was that good at his job, that he was that sought after.
If anybody they should be going after Romo, not him. At least Romo's tolerable.
As for the Rams, what I'll say in regards to, Darnell, I think that I'll be quite honest with you. Sean McVay, I think he's a fraud. I think he outsmarts himself sometimes. I think he has all the talent. He's got guys that can run right out of the gym, throw the ball out of the stadium from their knees. He's got it all. But he likes to call cute plays at the wrong time. And that's what's costing him some of these big games. And that's my take on Sean McVay. I'm sorry. I saw this here in Washington. It was the same shit. Okay? They gave him the reins on offense. They let him call all the plays. And every time it was a big game, he'd outcoach himself. All right? And the Chargers got two players. They got, Derwin James, and they've got Joey Bosa. Okay? As long as those two players are on the field, they should win 8, 9, 10 games, right? Well, one of you geniuses out there, one of you stat freaks, tell me how many times Joey Bosa and Derwin James have ever played in the same goddamn game. Right? These fucking guys couldn't stay healthy for the same game to save their lives. And I don't know how many times they've done it this year, but I know they didn't do it a whole lot last year. But that's their team. You've got 33% of your salary wrapped up in 2 or 3 players. And if they're not on the field,
well, then how good are you going to be? You know, so that's my deal with them. Is that they should be the Magic Man. You know, Fleetwood Mac should be writing a song about these guys, but they can never show up on game day. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know how much faith in this team I should put.
Let's go to a game that was actually good for once.
Yeah, is Mark still here? Because I hate to say it, this game was actually really good. It really was good. Although, as much as I don't want to put any blame on Mr. Kirk Cousins, he kind of screwed the pooch at the end of the game. We had the 49ers 34, Vikings 26. Game that came down to the legit last quarter of the game.
San Francisco fan, we see some bad news today. Deebo Samuel got injured in this game. He did his thing, but he got injured in this game. He might be out for a couple of weeks.
The Minnesota Vikings are the worst team in the NFL.
No, I still think Detroit's the worst team in the NFL. This team's about like 6 teams ahead of them.
Yeah, I don't know. It's arguable. I think they just happen to win more games than Detroit. The Minnesota is the most purgatory team in the league, in my opinion.
Mind you, this team also played with half their defense on Sunday.
You know why I picked San Fran to win this game?
Why? Because they were home?
Because I knew what Cook Curtin was going to do. I knew exactly what he was going to do.
Well, it wasn't prime time, so we can't blame him for that.
No. who went off last week? Justin Jefferson, right?
Yep.
Right.
So guess who was going to be looking forward to on Sunday?
Justin Jefferson.
No. Who's his favorite target?
Adam Thielen.
I say, watch. He gonna try to get the ball at Adam Thielen now because Justin Jefferson don't went off.
I will say this though. I mean, this was a game until Dalvin Cook got hurt. Dalvin Cook got hurt, and that went the toilet right there.
There go your number one man right there for Minnesota.
Dalvin Cook, I believe, was a separated shoulder that he was diagnosed with.
And he's already being sat for the next 2 games. So
you got Debo on one side being sick, and now you got Dalvin Cook. Ooh.
And
I'll be right back. I gotta be.
Dalvin Cook actually could be out a lot longer than what the 2 to 3 weeks are. Even though Zimmer wants to call him day to day, I don't think it's day to day. I think he's going to be out at least 3 to 4 weeks minimum.
Well, see, that's the problem. We sugarcoat these length of times for injuries. I mean, you just can't. The optimism just will not work. It's only going to take you so far. But then when you say it like that, and he's out longer than you, then the fan base, and everybody's going to get on your ass. Just tell it like it is. If people are mad, then fine. I mean, they understand the guy's hurt. He's got to recoup.
This ain't the time to get an injury, though.
Oh, not at all.
This ain't time for injuries.
Ain't never a time to get injured, Darnell. Let's be honest here.
No.
Man,
this is the time of the year you do not want to have injuries.
Yeah, that is true, but overall, let's be honest. You never want any star players of the Rams getting hurt, and I don't want anybody from the Cowboys getting hurt. So
of course, we don't want injured, but damn it, if y'all gonna get injured earlier the season. This is playoff push. We just finished Thanksgiving. It's playoff push time. These 2 teams are still alive for the playoffs.
in other words, shit got real, right, Darnell?
Man, they better hope they win the game for San Fran and still get going because they don't got Deebo Samuel for a good little minute now. Dalvin Cook. We all know what Ricky said when it comes to Minnesota and Dalvin Cook.
Because that was pretty much a real big turning point. Once he got hurt, that was it. That game plan changed fast. And that Vikings defense is not just hurt. You had the one defensive lineman trouble with the law or some shit like that. He wasn't playing on Sunday either. That's a key piece of their pass rush.
Lyman?
Yeah. I can't remember which one it is because they have had so many missing pieces the entire season on that defense. It's just ridiculous.
Like having these injuries at this time of year is not a good thing. Not a good thing.
All right. Sunday Night Football. A game that I took a nap through. Legitimately. Baltimore Ravens hosting the Cleveland Browns, or as I call them, the Turd Burglars. Ravens 16, Browns 10 in a lackluster Sunday night affair.
All right, so this is what I'm going to say. So we talked about Matthew Stafford, right?
Mm-hmm.
He threw 5 picks in 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
How many picks did Lamar Jackson throw?
4.
In this game alone.
4.
He threw 4. He threw 4 picks, and he still came out on top.
Let me ask this question. I'm pretty sure you can all ask the same way. Okay. Stevie Wonder, what's his major disability right now?
Blindness.
Exactly. So why would you pick Lamar Jackson, a man who did not have anything great numbers better than a high schooler, who threw 4 picks, make Lamar Jackson the player of the game?
That's who they made player of the game.
He was the number one.
Baker Mayfield is quarterbacking the other team.
He was the number 1 player of the game for Sunday Night Football. What blind idiot said, "Oh, well, it's just Lamar Jackson. Let's just make him the MVP of the game because he's the quarterback." He threw 4 picks and didn't have 200 yards passing.
Somebody posted on social media today, him and Baker Mayfield were going back and forth trading turnovers. Man, I don't want this ball. You can have it. Nah, I don't want it. You can have it.
So was this actually an NFL game or was this NFL blitz? Because it was horrible.
I'd say NFL Pee-wee.
I like the NFL Blitz reference because this is a reminiscent of an NFL Blitz type of statistical game, and I love that video game. I popped so many quarters into that machine before it came to the home system of PlayStation. Lamar Jackson gets, I think, graded on the curve. If we're being honest here, I think that we're looking at his mistakes and his interceptions and his fumbles as part of him being an evolutionary style quarterback. So therefore, we don't look at his, mishaps as under a microscope as we do some other quarterbacks out there. And I guess I don't know. I don't pay attention to awards, but if he was given the game of the day or player of the day award or whatever, that doesn't hold a lot of weight with me. But I do think that what he does is very much different from what the rest of the quarterbacks in the NFL are doing. You see what I'm saying? Like he's doing things that they're not capable of doing. Even guys like Patrick Mahomes and some of these other mobile quarterbacks, like he can do things that are comic book superhero-esque that we're not seeing from the rest of the league.
Okay, but see, here's the difference, though. And I'm not... Maybe I'm thinking that it's just because the way that the season's gone or whatever. But Lamar Jackson's not having the season he prototypically said he was going to have. Plain and simple. His numbers are nothing close to what they were years prior. Okay, 2018, 6 touchdowns, 3 picks. Okay, granted, yeah, he only played in 7 games. 7 games started, okay? Then you go back to 2019, 36 touchdowns, 6 picks.
MVP.
Okay. 2020, 26 touchdowns, 9 picks. Here's your trend. 15 touchdowns, 12 picks. For a man who said, defenses can't figure me out. BS. They have figured you out. Because your turnover numbers are going north every year as his career goes on. His touchdown numbers coming down.
But they have the best record in the conference.
For now.
But that's what I'm saying.
For now.
Like they can be catching up to him.
You can say for now. But these dudes are 8-3. They don't
Right.
have a solid running back. Lamar Jackson is the running game.
Listen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's go back to the fact that they lost their first and second running back
And third.
on their depth chart and third on their depth chart to start the season, and he is not only their quarterback but their running back to start the year, and they are still effing winning. You have got to give this guy some sort of credit, and if his stats aren't there with where you wanted them to be, I mean, who gives a flying F? This guy he's Rambo right now. This is John Rambo in a football uniform, in my opinion. And thank God he plays for the Baltimore football Ravens here in the great state of Maryland, and I can appreciate him as locally as I can, but I can't give him too much criticism, for a downtrodden year of stats, because he's lost a lot, man. He's lost a lot, and that, from my vantage point, I think he's doing just fine.
All right. Monday Night Football. Another game I really wish I would have taken a nap towards. Washington football team 17, Seahawks 15. This game was good until the last drive of the fourth quarter. That's it. That's all I got to say about the game. It was good to the last Seattle drive of the fourth quarter. And then it was good. That's it. One drive.
John, you're the Washington fan, so you go ahead, sir.
Hey guys, last year the Washington football team were number 2 in the league in second half adjustments, meaning they outscored their opponents. Second half point differential, except for the Tampa Bay Bucks, who won the Super Bowl. Okay, so who did they lose to in the playoffs? Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Guys, the Washington football team is a good coached football team. Ron Rivera is not a joke. Okay, Jack Del Rio is not a joke. He's their defensive coordinator. We've got Scott Turner as offensive coordinator over here. He is not a joke. These guys are actually making solid halftime adjustments during football games, and that's equating over to wins, especially the last 3 weeks. And the funny thing is about last year's stats is that after their bye week, if you look at their adjustment stats, they increasingly went up, like majorly in the second half of the season after the bye week. And the same thing is happening this year right now as we speak. So I think this team is poised to not only win the division again, but they'll do it with a winning record this year, not with a losing record. I think Dallas will get in as a
wild card,
rank 6 or rank 7, wild card or whatever, But I think I close my eyes and I fully believe that this team is being coached like a true professional, motivated squad that is going against the grain. And that's the kind of Ron Rivera team that we'd hoped would come to Washington. And I believe that's what we've got. So anyway, they've got a lot of controversy. Lord knows we've got a new name coming along. Maybe they're going to bring back the old name. Maybe they're going to bring back some controversial stupid name. Who knows what they're going to do with their name? But Ron Rivera doesn't give a shit. He was an 85 Bear that suited up every single down. And he has been so far telling his team that there's adversity you're going to have to fight through, and you're going to have to do it in order to be successful. And he has done so up to this point, and he is continuing to do so. I believe this team, Washington, wins this division with about an 11-6 or a 10-7 record.
That's a good transition to Thursday night football, because guess who's on Thursday night football?
Thank God my team's not on Thursday night football.
Cowboys and Saints.
The Dallas Cowboys going to the New Orleans Saints without the head coach being on the sideline.
Now, several coaches, actually.
And players. They ain't named the players, but...
No, Terrence Steele and Deshaun Wright.
Bearman.
And Amari Cooper probably, too.
Bearman.
Yeah.
Y'all still let this division open. Now you got to go to a place that you know it's hard to win at, even though the Saints ain't look like the Saints.
It's like John already made it clear. Washington's winning the NFC East.
But this is your Cowboys we're talking about here.
It doesn't matter. They're awful. What do you want me to say?
Well,
can y'all beat the Saints?
For those on the betting lines, the Dallas Cowboys are a 5-point favorite on the road, over 48.
You know, and I know that Mr. Braverman and I have a bet going on because he believes that Dallas will win the NFC East, while I don't. And obviously, Cowboys Nation hates me because I'm so critical of the Cowboys. But, you know, the truth is they are terrible, okay? They have not been playing. I mean, everything's a mess right now, okay? The offensive line can't produce. The running game is dead. The passing game is inconsistent. There's a problem with penalties. There's all the injuries, okay? I mean, how can I have faith in them going against the Saints? How can I have even faith for the rest of the season? See, I don't know how shocked you are, Darnell, because you're just...
I'm not shocked. I'm just like...
You're just like, I gotta have more faith, right? Is that it?
No, you want to be completely honest with you. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. That's Ricky wants you to have the faith and stuff. I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
That's Ricky's thing, all right.
Everybody know I love Stephen A. Smith, but Stephen A. Smith thing around the holidays is when the Cowboys collapse. We are at the holidays and look what's going on.
The Cowboys are collapsing.
I'm surprised at the fact that this hasn't changed. Like, I'm waiting for the Cowboys to change, and it's not changing.
Tell you, as long as Jerry Jones is in charge, there's not going to be a change.
We talk about the Rams with the talent. We know Dallas got that. We look at their roster and what happens every year when we start talking about preseason football. And what does everybody say? Oh, the Cowboys gonna be one of the top teams in the NFL. They're gonna win the NFC East.
It's the same shit every year, and I call out Cowboys Nation for that because they live in denial. And what do I get? I'm called ignorant, and then some idiot calls me the Tucker Carlson critic of the Dallas Cowboys.
And yet here we are, and the Cowboys is on how many game losing streak right now?
2.
For the record, I like Tucker Carlson.
So I'm just like, what y'all gonna do? Because after the Saints, it's mostly your division until you get to the Cardinals.
Yeah, and John likes it because, you know, the Cowboys are playing Washington in our nation's capital. And then I think that the game is it the game, like, I think it's 2 games after that. After that it goes to Arlington.
Washington plays 5 consecutive NFC East opponents to end the season.
You got Washington with that schedule. Philadelphia don't have to go on a plane again. And then y'all and somehow, some way the Cardinals got mixed up in y'all schedule.
Sometimes I really ask, like, who comes up with a schedule?
Bearman, I don't know, man. This might it.
I mean, look, I love my Cowboys, okay? But the problem is they're not good. There's a lot of shit going on, okay?
I mean,
Sometimes some might say it's a blessing that Mike McCarthy won't be there because at least there won't be mismanagement of the clock and poor decision making. I mean, you know what? In my opinion, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. I mean, Amari Cooper is still apparently on the protocol, and they said if he doesn't practice tomorrow, then he's not playing because obviously they leave tomorrow. But now at this point, he didn't practice today, nor did he practice on Monday. I think he's out. And if Zeke Elliott has to be sat, then do it. You know what? Because I think Tony Pollard has earned the chance to start. I mean, stop holding him back.
Tony Pollard is my number one backup running back when it comes to in the football league because I don't think y'all gave him enough carries throughout.
I've been saying that. You see, and Cowboys Nations gets on me because I'm hating on Zeke now. You see, I bring up a point and they call me a hater. I'm like
Tony Pollard is that dude. I'm just gonna put that out there.
And I'm curious to know, like John's opinion on how I'm saying my stuff. I mean, you see, I just bring up a point, but then those fans they hate me for it. I'm like, so you just can't handle the truth? Is that it? Do you want to live on bullshit? Then fine, that's your problem. But guess what? I don't. It's no wonder Cowboys Nation is regarded as a joke, right, gentlemen?
I don't think speaking for the Cowboys in general, I think the Cowboys get a little too much. What do you call?
Too much credit? Is that it?
No. I think the Cowboys get a little too much
hype.
When they lose, they get a little too much
Sorrow?
Flack. What's the word I'm looking for?
Too high of expectations.
I think Cowboys' expectations are always beyond the standard. Okay, maybe that's the words I'm looking for. And I believe the Cowboys are in good position to actually win a title. I don't think they will.
As long as Jerry Jones is around, it's not going to happen, bro.
Who's around?
Jerry Jones, the owner and the GM and the president.
I think they can win one under Jerry. But what I'm saying is that I think that sometimes the media hurts the actual Dallas Cowboys organization by hyping them more than they should. Or sometimes they should just kind of, lay off the guy team. You know what I mean? It's like these professional organizations are trying to be competitive. They're trying to win a championship. Let them do what they do. But because the media is what it is, they're just always on their nuts. And I think that makes it harder for franchises like Dallas to actually get over that hump. You know what I mean? Because everybody's paying attention to them because the media won't let you let go of the fact that they might try to be, trying to stay under the radar this year. Who knows?
That damn star.
So I
goddamn star, man. It's a fucking star.
I'm going to quickly interject. I do agree with what John's saying that the media does hype them. But at the end of the day, Dallas Cowboys win or lose based on what they've done. Sometimes they make good decisions. Sometimes they make bad decisions. If it was any other team, it would sound like they're doing pretty good for where they're at. Sometimes they make good decisions. Sometimes they make bad decisions. And as a lifelong Dallas Cowboys fan, I know this. I know that they're going to either way. And that's not Jerry Jones' fault. That, other than maybe changing the coaching staff. But I really, what?
Jones is a good owner. He's just a bad GM.
I don't know. I don't, at least for the team they put together this year, I don't know. I believe Dak is a great quarterback. I was on the fence about McCarthy. Don't know, but I love Kellen Moore. I really do like him a whole lot.
I can only pray that he gets the Jason Garrett mentality completely out of his head, because apparently he's yet to do that.
He's just clapping. All right, Johnson said to go away. Bye.
That's it. Go ahead, close
No,
this out,
I'm
Ricky.
dead serious. Apparently, there was still questionable play calling. I mean, if he still hasn't gotten the full Jason Garrett mentality out of his head, then I don't know what to expect.
Well, we will revisit this Saturday, Bear Man. You have some days. You have some days, okay?
I guess John, me, and you Playmaker. I guess we got to make the pick now.
Yeah, I've only been sitting here waiting for that for 5 minutes.
No.
You got a smile on your face, Ricky. You were enjoying it, brother.
I'm sitting here and I'm like, well, yeah,
I'm good. I'm going to sit back and enjoy this.
Hey, Bernard, I just got to make the point clear. I mean, Cowboys Nation wants to live on bullshit. That's their deal. But like I said, I'm just not going to live up to it. Okay.
Listen,
So
I'm just gonna say this, Bernard. I'm extremely proud of you that you got shares. I know who to come to now when I need something Green Bay-ish. So because you're now part of the owner of the team, you could probably help me out with that.
And Bernard is a businessman.
You know what? We're going to close out like this. Bear Man,
Yes.
percentage of the Cowboys winning Thursday night.
51%.
I'll second for him personally.
51%.
Well, let's keep in mind Trevor Siemian is unlikely to start because Taysom Hill's been taking first team reps.
And probably still no Alvin Kamara, right?
No, Alvin Kamara was limited. Was limited at practice.
He ain't
Mark
playing.
Ingram, I believe, was a full participant.
He ain't playing.
How do you know?
Well, how much percentage are you
Kamara
giving
was
your
supposed to-
Cowboys?
Kamara was
the
supposed to
Saints?
play this past Sunday, and he didn't.
Okay,
How much percentage are you giving your Cowboys to win this game?
30%.
Woo. All right, there you go, Ricky. Go ahead, close us up.
Okay. ArchRivals will be back on again tomorrow at
Oh my gosh.
6:30.
Yeah.
Talking college football. As you could probably see, there's been a ton of college stuff going across the ticker, which will be pretty much great conversation. It won't be NFL. It will be NCAA. We also have
I need Kenny on.
We also have Pipe Bomb Radio NYC at 4 o'clock or 4:30 tomorrow. Not exactly sure of that time. Friday on Pipe Bomb Radio NYC, we have new music. We have an interview and more. That should be fun on Friday. Surprise, Darnell.
All that says is I have to be here.
Yes, you have to, because we have guests coming. And then Patriot Pipe Bomb, Thursday nights, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Oh, and Indeed. And I guess till tomorrow night, we will catch you guys later. Thank you, John, for coming on. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Bram.
Hey, did you like that show? Like, share, follow, subscribe. Share out our shows to all of your social media. Need merchandise? Check out paintrainpipebomb.threadless.com for quality merchandise at great prices. Tune in next time for another edition of ArchRivals Football, and we'll catch you on the flip side.